There are few things I find as tranquil and as meditative as driving early in the morning while it's still dark outside and enjoying a cup of coffee while I listen to lo-fi hip-hop. It's something I wish I could do more often because the way it makes me feel is so unique, so tame, so cathartic, as if everything around me is still, motionless, and the present moment is all that I can consider. Now, I'm sure many can relate to this, and I don't think I could reach this serene state under these circumstances described if it weren't for lo-fi hip-hop. That is, if you can even call it a genre. It's so unique in the way that it evokes emotional stillness that I would almost label it as some kind of anti-music, in the sense that it numbs you more than it evokes a specific feeling or emotion. I believe this is the reason why it's the only music that my easily distracted and simple mind can stand to listen to while I study or do homework, and I just don't seem to be alone on this. Just take a look at the chat from the now infamous YouTube live stream, Lo-Fi Hip Hop Radio, Beats to Relax / Study To, and it's easy to see that there is an entire community of people that love this genre for more reasons than the fact that pretty much every song ever has been done in this style, and that it's often oddly reminiscent of the Pokemon music, but let's explore those reasons. Lo-fi hip-hop is defined as a genre of music that combines traditional hip-hop and jazz elements to create an atmospheric instrumental soundscape. But what really makes a song lo-fi? Traditionally, lo-fi or low-fidelity music is defined as a quality in which elements usually regarded as imperfections of a recording or performance are audible, sometimes as a deliberate aesthetic choice. Lo-fi music isn't something new. Low-fidelity recordings can be dated all the way back to garage rock acts from the 60s like the Kinks. These artists often self-produced records in a lo-fi DIY setting out of necessity rather than aesthetic appeal, but nonetheless, they did record in this style. This trend can also be cited in the early punk rock sound of acts like the Ramones and the Sex Pistols. Fast forward to 2020 and we now live in a culture of pop that thrives off of borrowing from the past. The modern vinyl boom has reinvented the idea of the importance of physical music in the modern day and has brought it back into the limelight. And teenagers dress like they're from the 80s today more often than they do in brands making their name in the modern day. Lo-fi hip-hop is no different. The ambient sounds of vinyl cracking and old movie quotes interpolated into lo-fi intros have become staples of the genre. Ambient sounds like the crack of the vinyl that I just mentioned are part of the atmospheric textures that often make lo-fi hip-hop so airy and atmospheric. Environmental sounds like rain hitting the concrete or a windy storm outside of your bedroom window are just as common, further giving lo-fi the tranquil, peaceful vibrations that it's known for. On top of these ambient textures usually lies a simple piano or guitar melody, often sampled, that is almost always performed at a slow tempo. Take this track by I'm Alex, Dylan Withrow, and Chris Manzura, for example, that clocks in at just 34 beats per minute, or even Fat B's Tory at 40 beats per minute. This trend sees almost no exceptions. More often than not, lo-fi tracks also feature some sort of airy atmospheric synth line looming in the back of the mix that provides a meditative constant. Most lo-fi tracks tend to remain very polytonal instrumentally and provide a strong dissonance between keys. A piece being polytonal simply describes the use of more than one key simultaneously. Lo-fi music tends to opt for two very dissonant keys played in unison within many of its melodies, which means that their two keys don't really blend together well or cohesively. They provide a stark contrast that, when combined with the surrounding instrumentation, comes across as very chill or calming and almost ethereal or hypnotic. This is why often the main piano or guitar melodies in these tracks sound almost out of tune. The phenomena of blending two dissonant keys together to produce such a calm tone is something that I don't quite understand. Personally, when I hear lo-fi, I don't really feel nostalgic. In fact, I don't really feel anything at all, except maybe like comfortable or warm. Lo-fi makes me feel as if the world around me is only interested in my movements, as if I'm the main character of the story, and I'm not really sure if nostalgia is the right word to describe that. Lo-fi doesn't really bring me a specific feeling. It brings me peace, which I don't really consider a feeling as much as I do a state of mind. It's the closest to me that music has ever felt like meditation.